Hello everyone, this is MC Deck Discussions and I'm OhBSmall, and today we have an actual gameplay video because this is the first game of the tournament we have going on between we have 4 content creators and each of us are now competing in our limited environment tournament. We all did a draft picking all of our environments. I'll briefly show you mine when I show you the deck, what my limited environment is. But I'll do that stuff quickly because I am going to actually show a full game here. So I'm going to have timestamps as usual. So be sure to skip ahead wherever you think you can. I'm going to first show the setup for Juggernaut. I'm going up against Expert Juggernaut. We all are. And just briefly to talk about the rules of scoring. So for this first week, so we're going to play against Juggernaut, each of us, 2 heroes. My first hero is Psylocke. Okay. And what we do is we have base points. So if we get a victory here, say we get 10 points. If we lost, we get 3 points, but that's the base points. Then we can get points taken off. So for every extra threat that's still on the main scheme, that takes off a point. And each minion in play takes off a point, and each side scheme takes off a point. So that's how the point scoring works. Now let's get into the setup here. So going up against Juggernaut, here's the setup. We attach Juggernaut's helmet to Juggernaut, which is right here. I'll go over that in a sec. And then we put Hope Summers into play under the first player's control. Also here, why don't I go over this part right away. So notice she has a star for a thwart, star for attack. That's because her base thwart and base attack are equal to the thwart and attack of your hero. So that'll be whatever Psylocke's is going to be. All right, and then let's see, what else does she have? Oh, if Hope Summers leaves play, you automatically lose the game. So that part's important too, and she does not count towards your ally limit. Now, getting over to the helmet. So Juggernaut's helmet is a permanent attached to Juggernaut, and Juggernaut gains Stalwart and Overkill while this side is in play. So we can get it to the other side by this hero action. Spend 3 resources of the same type, remove each momentum counter from Juggernaut, and flip this card. So that's really the important thing for getting rid of this side, is so that Juggernaut no longer has Stalwart, and even more importantly, or just as importantly, I should say, does not have Overkill. Okay. All right, let's flip this over. Okay. So instead of getting defeated when Juggernaut completes this main scheme, these are the things that happen. So you remove all threat from here. So it just basically starts over. If Juggernaut exposed is in play, you flip it. So if you use this hero action here for Juggernaut's helmet, it flips over to this side, Juggernaut exposed. So this will allow Juggernaut to take 1 additional damage for each card with a printed mental resource. However, there is a forced response. After Juggernaut schemes, you would place a momentum counter on Juggernaut, and you'd flip this back over to this side, Juggernaut's helmet side. So this does the same thing. If Juggernaut exposed is in play, you flip it back over to his helmet. Okay? And as soon as you flip it to the helmet, actually, it doesn't say anything here, but other things occur, like say here. So number 3, place 1 momentum counter on Juggernaut, and then Juggernaut attacks each player in player order. And note, you really can lose from this attack happening because they can be attacked in alter ego form, and he can get some massive attacks. So that can be very dangerous. Okay? And then now let's look at Juggernaut himself. So 1 scheme, 3 attack. And Juggernaut gets +1 ATK for each momentum counter here. When revealed, place 1 momentum counter here. And so that's what I have. If you look over where my mouse is moving right now, there's a momentum counter there. And then if Juggernaut exposes in play, flip it. It's not in play. Otherwise, give Juggernaut a tough status card. So that's why Juggernaut has a tough status card. All right, so that's the setup. And then let me go ahead and now share the deck briefly. I'm just going to give a brief overview because I will do another video where I go into detail about the deck and why I built the deck the way I did. But for now, let me just give you an overview so you know what the deck is and just a few features of it. All right, so here's Psylocke's deck, leadership deck, 42 cards in it. It's called Psyforce of Fury, and the reason for that is it's basically a psionic force But Fury's in here to really drive the card draw so that the deck can really work. Okay, so Angel is an X, and plus we have a lot of X-Force, so hence the Force part of the name too. So Angel comes in the deck, right, is X-Force, but then notice all these others, other than Nick Fury, these are all psionic. So there's psionic X-Force allies, such as Caliban, but also psionic X-Men allies, such as Kid Omega, M, Mirage, Phoenix, and then we have Professor X. All right. So in addition, because Psylocke is psionic and X-Force, I do have team building exercise in here to help play all of these from your hand, except for Nick Fury. But most of the time he won't be played from a lot of times he won't be played from your hand anyway. But in addition, team building exercise helps with all the psionic cards, and she has a bunch. Okay? We have 3 copies of Make the Call. We have Face the Past, and 2 copies of Psychic Kicker. For the player side schemes, we have Build Support and Call for Backup. And then for the resources, we have the 3 doubles and 2 copies of Power of the Mind to also help with playing psionic cards. And then, I will remember to go over here and go over the limited environment in a little bit. So I'll highlight that so I remember to do that. So under the sports, we have Avengers Mansion, Quinn Carrier, which we cannot play, but Build Support is specifically meant to get Quinn Carrier into play. And then team building exercise. And then for our upgrades, endurance, 2 copies of leadership skill, and 1 copy of rapid response. All right, so here were the limits. So if you're thinking of some other cards, that maybe should go in this deck, these are the limits here. So this limited environment is comprised of the core set, 2 campaign expansions rather than usual 3. We just have 2 for each of us. Next Evolution and Mutant Genesis, and then 8 hero packs rather than the usual allowed 10 for limited environments. So I have Psylocke, Storm, Wolverine, Iceman, Magneto, Black Widow, Phoenix, and Rogue. All right, so there are going to be 4 weeks to this tournament. You can always pause again if you want to, learn the rules of the point scoring right over here. All right, this deck was specifically built for Juggernaut, by the way. Again, I'll talk more about that in the deck discussion. Let's get to the gameplay now. Okay, quick note. So on the Betsy Braddock side, the alter ego side, she does have a hand size of 6. On the other side, she has a hand size of 4, hit points of 10. All right, let's go ahead and draw up our hand. Okay, and let's see what we want to do here. I definitely would like to get another ally in play. You can lose this game. So Hope Summers, Juggernaut has the ability with, I think, one of his treacheries to just straight up attack an ally. And so we want another ally in here as much as possible so that that never happens, because Hope Summers, could lose the game that way, possibly. So I would like to get another ally in play if I can. However, I'd like this build support to stay in. So, but currently we're not going to need Make the Call. Let's get rid of that. Okay, I'm actually going to keep one of these cards right here. It doesn't really matter which one. I think I'll keep Sonic Redirect right now, and I'll show you why in a sec. So let's go ahead and discard this one. I'm going to keep Build Support. I'm going to keep the double and get rid of this one. So the reason I'm keeping Sonic Redirect is because I would like to get Juggernaut's helmet flipped over right away, and I already have 2 built-in resource generators with the Psy Knives that are both mental resource generators here, in addition to giving her +1 thwart. And so if I use both of those plus Sonic Redirect, I'll be able to flip this over right away. So that's why I'm going to keep this just in case. That way I definitely have it available for that. All right. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get our hand size back up get ready for our first turn. Betsy Braddock on this side. This is her setup. Put your 2 Psy Energy upgrades into play, Psy Knife side up. So notice this is the Psy Knife side, so is this. Okay. When it's on the other side, I'll just flip it over real quickly. The Psy Katana. You have Psylocke gets +1 ATK, and her basic attacks gain piercing. And then instead, you can generate a physical resource. Both sides are hero resources, and when you exhaust them, you generate that resource, and then you may flip the card if you wish. Okay. All right. So put that back to the Psy Knife side. And then she has this action, exhaust 1 Psy Energy upgrade, So one of these are psi energy upgrades over here. Shuffle one psionic card from your discard pile into your deck. Now, I almost never use that, but there's some things that may facilitate that in this deck as we play. So we'll see if I actually end up using it, but I almost never use that ability. All right, so let's go ahead and draw back up our hand size. We've now taken our mulligan. And wow, still no allies. All right, but we should be in really good shape from here on out. So let's go ahead and flip over. And I am going to go ahead and use this hero action, spend 3 resources of the same type. So let's go ahead and spend this one, and let's see, let's just get rid of make the call. And then now we can flip this over, but first remove each momentum counter from Juggernaut. So we'll do that. And now flip this card, okay? All right, and once again, each of our mental resource cards that can deal damage, they'll deal 1 additional damage, okay? All right, and again, after Juggernaut schemes, this would automatically flip over too. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I want to get this build support out. So let's see what we can do best to actually then already use it or defeat it. All right, I don't have anything in my hand that's going to help with that, but let's get it into play. So I'm going to use one of these psionic redirects to get build support into play. So I've paid for it. So that's going to be 3. And then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and thwart for 1 to get rid of 1 there with Psylocke. And then, actually, these are psi knives. They're on the psi knife side, which I meant to when I actually used them. Exhaust it. When you exhaust it, you may flip this card. I actually did mean to flip one of these cards over originally. But instead, I'm going to go ahead and thwart for all 3 here. So that works out okay. Okay. All right. And then now we can use our build support to specifically get Quinn Carrier. That's the only card that this is meant to get. So there it is, Quinn Carrier. So now we already get Quinn Carrier in play. And we'll shuffle up. All right. And then Hope Summers, she could get rid of this stuff, but I think I'll just actually use her to get rid of this instead. So let's just do that. All right. Okay, so I think I do want to still keep the double actually, but then I would like to, boy, these are actually pretty good cards to keep. So yeah, I'm just going to play that kind of conservatively. That could delay getting allies, but this makes it pretty safe for us. Okay, so because both of these are hero interrupts that can help out with what all could happen here. So let's go ahead and just draw an extra card. Interesting. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get the villain side going. All right, so we have when this scheme would be completed. Okay, so add 1 threat to it, and then he's going to attack. He's attacking for 3 plus this card. And then because I have psionic redirect that can prevent a bunch of damage, let's see, we have our psi knives here. All right, I'm going to let the attack happen. So he's going to attack for 3. 4, 5, 6, and I am going to go ahead and pay with this and Quinn Carrier. And now that I paid with this, I'm going to flip this card. Okay. All right. So now I have a Psi Katana and a Psi Knife in play, and I'm going to use that to play Psionic Redirect. So when you would take any amount of damage, prevent 2 of that damage, and then for each Psi Katana you control, prevent 2 more damage. So I do have 1 more Psi Katana, so I'm preventing 2. So I'm preventing 4 altogether, so still 6 coming to me initially, so 2 damage net. So I'm down from 10 to 8. And then for each Psi Knife you control, confuse that enemy. So I still have a Psi Knife, so I am going to confuse with that Psi Knife. So Juggernaut is now confused. All right. Okay, and then now let's go ahead and get his encounter card. In expert mode, this card gains insight 1, so we're going to add another threat. When revealed, if Juggernaut exposed is in play, and it is, flip it and place 1 momentum counter on Juggernaut. So let's flip it and get a momentum counter there. Okay. Otherwise, place threat on the main scheme equal to Juggernaut's ATK. All right, so we can ignore the rest of that. Okay, that's it for the first round. Let's go ahead and start our second round. Okay. So let's go ahead and indicate that. So we're now on round 2. Okay. I doubt that I'm going to remember to keep doing these rounds, but I might as well keep track of it if I do remember. Okay, so I would like to very much put this back to the other side. We have 1 mental here. I don't have enough resources to do that, but I do if I do it this way. Okay. Oh, I could have prevented that. That was the whole purpose. Okay. So I might as well bring up my method that I usually do to remember these things as I flip them over. Let me show you. I usually flip this over so I remember to do that. I specifically was holding on to this for that purpose. So I am going to retract that because that was my whole purpose in holding on to this, and I knew I had the power of mind to play it. So when this came out, okay, all right, we were still over here on this side. Let me just reverse what happened there. Okay, here's where we were, right? Specifically, I mentioned even before I was playing that I meant to do that, right? So now let me do like I normally do. I have it flipped over so I remember that. I see that there and I know I'm going to do. So this flips over. It's a treachery, okay? I don't want this, Juggernaut exposed to trigger, okay? So I'm going to use this ability right here. So let's flip it over. Hero interrupt, when you reveal a card from the encounter deck, cancel its when revealed effects, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pay for that. That is a psionic card. We're going to pay for that with the power of the mind, okay? Boom. All right. For each Psi Katana you control, choose an enemy and deal 2 damage to it. I do have 1 Psi Katana, so I'm going to deal 2 damage taking off this tough. Okay? And then for each Psi Knife you control, choose a scheme and remove 1 threat from it. So I will remove 1 threat. Okay? All right, so that changes things, except for in expert mode, this card gains insight, so that wouldn't have changed. So let me put that back, right? Because only the when revealed was canceled, not the entire card. Okay? Right? When you cancel its when revealed effects. Okay, there we go. Right? So that's what I had meant to do in the first place. Okay. And so now it stays on Juggernaut exposed, and we're not dealing with that same thing. Okay? So I'm going to do my best not to retract things in that way, but I had specifically said I was keeping those cards in order to use them and then just forgot. I'll try to remember my method in the future. That'll be a good reminder. Make sure to flip them over so that I notice that they're flipped over and know that I can do something during the villain's turn. All right. Okay, so back to our turn. Let's see. Back to our turn. Oh, now that was the end of the first round, and we're starting the second round. And this is all we have in our hand now. But what I would like to do is go ahead and attack with Psylocke. So I'm going to attack for 1, and then we have +1 ATK, so we're attacking for 2. So 1, 2. Okay. And then she has this ability I haven't shared yet, Psi Energy Control Interrupt. When you use one of Psylocke's basic powers. Oh, I can do it right away. I forgot it was an interrupt. When you use one of Psylocke's basic powers, flip 1 Psi Energy Upgrade. So that's an interrupt. So I'm flipping Psi Knife as well. So I have 2 Psi Katanas. Okay. So that's actually +1 ATK for both of those. So I attack and deal 1 more damage. And that's especially important because now we're going to attack with Hope Summers, who has the same ATK as the hero. So she gets 3 ATK as well. So she's going to attack for 3, plus she has a mental resource on her. So she does the extra 1 damage for having that printed mental resource. So she does 3 damage plus 1 is 4 damage, bringing him down to 18, down to 14. Okay. All right, there we go. And then he is confused. I am going to flip over to the other side because I want the bigger hand size. Okay, so let's go ahead and ready up and draw our hand size of 6. Okay, now we're getting some allies, and specifically Nick Fury, and we got those double resources. All right, so hopefully we're going to start cruising along now and starting doing some real good things here. Okay, so now Juggernaut's turn. He is, first of all, let's add 1 threat to the main scheme. He is confused. He's no longer confused. Get out a card. Let's see what he gets. Ah, good. That's good timing to be flipped over because Creeping Willow has 1 attack with Quick Strike and Guard and has this forced response after Creeping Willow attacks and damages a character, stun that character. So we get to avoid that here. All right. So that's excellent. Okay, that's the end of his turn. So that's the end of round 2. So far, I'm remembering to do this. That's amazing. I've never remembered to do that before. And we got the beginning of round 3. So I am looking at these cards here. I am definitely going to start off by playing Nick Fury. So let's pay. These are hero resources, so I can't use these to pay. But I'm going to use this double and this double to pay for Nick Fury and go ahead and draw 3 cards. Okay, wow. All right, we've got a bunch of stuff going on here. I would very much like to get team building exercise out as well. Let's go ahead and flip over now. Do I want to heal up? It's important to be really conservative with your damage. I think we have plenty to handle everything that's out here. So I am actually going to heal up, even though it wastes 1 recovery, because sometimes Juggernaut can just surprise you. Okay, so, and we have the ability to be conservative right now. Okay, so we could actually get rid of Creeping Willow in 1 shot here if we can get M out, but I'd like to get team building exercise, so maybe we won't be able to do that. So let's do Quinn Carrier and this one. Yeah, and mental detection. We're going to use those 2 to pay for team building exercise. And then that's a tough choice, but this is a leadership deck, so we can get others back if we want. So yeah, let's go. So exhaust team building exercise, play a card from your hand that shares a trait with your hero, reducing the resource cost by 1. So M is a psionic character, just like Psylocke, so we will be able to do that. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and get out M. And then M's ability, after M enters play, defeat a minion with fewer remaining hit points than M. She has 4 hit points, and Creeping Willow only has 3, so it is defeated. Okay, and it is defeat, right? Yes, he is defeated. Okay, excellent. So now, why don't we use, let's see, we still have our 2 Psy Katanas. Oh my gosh, I forget about that all the time. Okay, I use the 2 Psy Katanas to pay instead of 2 of these so that I can keep Professor X, and the other one actually that I want to keep is Phoenix. There we go. So those were of the 3 that I had left, right? We had Caliban as well. These are the 2 that I want to use. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep the order there. All right, so I want to keep those 2. So I won't be able to play them yet, but they'll be set up for the next round. So that's great. Okay, so let's use, in this case, we'll use M to get rid of this 2 threat. And we're going to attack with Nick Fury, who does 2 damage, takes a consequential, but he's also a mental, so he's going to do 2 damage plus 1, which is 3. So 1, 2, 3, 14 down to 11. And then Hope Summers, again, both Psy Katanas are out, so Hope Summers, that gives plus 1 each. So altogether, it's going to be 3. So Hope Summers attacks for 3 plus the mental, which is 4, going from 11 down to 7. Okay. All right. And with that, she doesn't take consequential, by the way, for her thwarting or attacking. All right. So let's go ahead and ready up and draw our hand size. Nice. There's make the call and call for backup. Great. All right. So that's it for our turn. Let's start the villain's turn. Okay, add 1 threat to the main scheme, and Juggernaut's going to attack for 3 damage. We will defend with Nick Fury. And that's going to do 5 damage, defeating Nick Fury. And then let's get his encounter card. Flip that over. And hero response, after you defend against an attack from Juggernaut, you can remove 1 threat from this scheme. It does have 2 acceleration icons, so we would definitely like to get rid of all 3 of that. And we have the right cards for that. So let's go ahead and begin round 4. Okay, and let's go ahead and pay with Psy Katana, and actually reduce the cost by 1 of the Professor. So he only costs 2. Professor comes out, and we're going to confuse the villain, and the Professor is going to get rid of this 3 threat So that side scheme is gone. Remember, our goal is to keep, the minions by the end of the game, keep the minions and, for scoring, keep the minions and side schemes out of play and get this as close to 0 as possible. Yeah. All right, but let's go ahead and attack. So we'll attack with Psylocke for 3. We still have both Sai Katanas out, so she still has 3 attack. So coming down to 3, 1, 2, 3. And if I attack with Hope Summers, he's going to get defeated and put us to the next one. This is about as safe a time to do that as any. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, hold on a sec. That call for backup. Okay, no, this works out well. Let me go ahead and get call for backup out right now, actually, by using Couldn't Carrier to pay for it. So we'll just have that out there. Okay, and let's go ahead and attack with Hope Summers. And again, Hope Summers attacks for 3 this time as well. Plus she has a mental resource on her, so it's going to be 4, and we will defeat this side of Juggernaut. All right, so let's flip that over and let's see what happens. Go or not go to the next one. All right. Okay, so now he's a 2/4, two scheme 4 attack. And he gets +1 ATK still for each momentum counter here. When revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for Head of Steam and reveal it. So let's find Head of Steam. I don't think it's over here, but I might as well check here first. No. All right, so Head of Steam. There it is. So let's put that right here. Shuffle the deck, encounter deck. All right, Juggernaut gains Retaliate X, where X is the number of momentum counters on Juggernaut. Okay. When revealed, attach Head of Steam to Juggernaut and place 1 momentum counter on him. So let's put a momentum counter on him. Okay, so now he has basically 5 attack. And then after Juggernaut attacks you, spend 1 resource for each damage dealt by that attack. Discard, discard. That's a hero response. Note that we don't have to do it. All right. And then lastly, let's see, if Juggernaut exposes in play, flip it. So now we're going to flip this back over, which means he has Stalwart and Overkill again, which means that confusion is gone. I was tempted not to trigger this yet, but decided to go ahead and do it. Hopefully I don't pay the price. Okay. All right. Okay, and then we still have this hero action so we can flip it over, but we're not going to be able to do that right now. Okay. All right. Okay, and is that it? If Juggernaut exposes in play, flip it. Otherwise, give him his tough status. So he doesn't get a tough status. We did flip that. Okay, and then I might as well. So now he has Overkill. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and have her thwart for 2 to set call for backup. Set that up to be utilized right away on the next turn. All right, looking pretty good. We still have 10 hit points, so I'm feeling pretty safe. So let's get ready and drop our hand size. And now it's Juggernaut's turn in round 4. Let's add 1 threat to the main scheme. And he's going to attack for 4 with Overkill. And in addition to getting this, might as well defend with Professor X, so we'll be able to prevent 2 of this damage. Okay. Oh, what do we have in our hand? Mental Detection is a hero action, so nothing we can use right now. All right. Okay, so he's attacking for 4 and just 4, so that's pretty lucky. So that Professor X absorbed 2 of that, so 2 damage comes to us. Okay. So what did this say exactly? After Juggernaut attacks you, spend 1 resource for each damage dealt by that attack. So it still counts as 4 damage dealt. So if I wanted to get rid of this right away, which it might be worth the price to do so, he currently has his helmet on too. So let's see. I want to be able to pay for that. I could just use my whole hand size, even though I'd rather not because I want to make the call. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to do it. All right, so let's go ahead. We're just going to let that go. Okay. All right, and then now he gets his encounter card. Reveal your set-aside Nemesis minion, put it into play, engage with you. Okay, here we go. All right, so here's Chimera. 1/1, but has a forced interrupt when she activates against you. I'll worry about that if she activates. And then reveal your set-aside Nemesis side scheme and put it into play. Here it is. Okay. When revealed, place 1 threat here for each upgrade in play. So, plus it has an acceleration icon. So, upgrades in play. 1, 2, just 2. Okay. All right. So it ends up with 4. And then now shuffle the rest of our cards into the encounter deck. And then, yeah, that's all we need. All right, so put that in the encounter deck, that into the encounter deck, that, and let's shuffle it in. All right, and that's it. Okay, so not too bad. Let's see how we want to start off here. Okay, I'm going to play Mental Detection. Okay, so right here, remove 1 threat from a scheme. Okay, so I'm going to, it is a psionic card, so I can use Team Building Exercise to reduce its cost, and then I'm also going to use Leadership Skill, and we're going to play that. Okay, and then remove 1 threat from a scheme. I'm going to remove that 1 threat from Call for Backup. Okay, defeating that. And then that will allow us to search our deck of discard pile for an ally and put it into play. We are going to get Nick Fury. Let's look at our allies. Here we go. Let's get Nick Fury, put him into play. Keep the order of that. And now we can draw 3 cards, and that is what we're going to choose to do. We're going to draw 3 cards. All right. Okay. Oh, hold on. And then there's more to this. Okay. All right. And then for each Psi Knife you control, which I don't, so I'll skip that. And then for each Psi Katana you control, draw a card. We have 2 Psi Katanas. We're going to draw 2 more cards. Okay. All right. Okay, so that gives us a bunch of cards here. And I think I'm going to not bother with Avengers Mansion in this case. I think I'd rather, go on the attack here. Let's see what we can do. Okay, I think I can end this game right here. So let's start attacking right now. So I'm going to attack with Psylocke. We have 2 Psi Katanas out, so she has 3 attack. So we're going from 25. So note that we're starting at 25 points. So we're going to deal 3 damage. 1, 2, 3, down to 22. Okay. Then we're going to attack with Hope Summers. Hope Summers also attacks for 3, plus an extra 1 because she has a mental resource on her. So she attacks for 4, 22 down to 18. Okay. Nick Fury is going to attack, and he's going to deal 2 damage, plus he has a mental resource, so he deals 3 down to 15. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then I'm going to play Psychic Kicker. So ready an ally, that ally gets +2 thwart, +2 ATK for its next basic attack or thwart. Okay, and so we will use Hope Summers, and she's going to attack for 3, plus the mental resource is 4, plus this is 6. So she attacks for 6. So we're going to run 15 down to 9 points of damage. Oh, this was the start of our 5th round, I believe. Okay. All right, then we're going to go ahead and play. Oh, maybe I can't win quite yet. Oh, also I made a mistake with all the mental resource damage because we have Juggernaut's helmet out still. I forgot, I have it available here to flip it, but I did not yet flip it. So 1 second here. I might have to retract all those because I didn't flip that yet. Okay, all right, so I'm not gonna retract them. I'm going to do this and flip it, so that I'm say that I did that first, right? So mental, and use the Quinn Carrier for a mental, right? So spend 3 resources of the same type, remove each momentum counter from Juggernaut, right? So remove each momentum counter, okay? Then flip this card, okay? And then now those mental resources all did the damage they did. I wouldn't want to make a mistake retracting them and then trying to put them back on again, so we're just gonna do that. Let me get rid of Psychic Kicker those because we did apply that damage. Okay, let's keep going. M is going to attack for 3 points of damage. 1, 2, 3. She does not have a mental, but she takes 2 consequential, so she's defeated. Okay? And that leaves 7 points remaining. 6 points remaining. Let me undo that real quickly. I got to see what it was. Okay, I'm going to hit the back button. Yes, okay. It was 9 to begin with, right? And then, yes, it was 9 to begin with, and I did 3, and it looks like I didn't do 3 down to 6. Okay, so down to 6 when she attacked. Oops, didn't mean to do that. All right, then she gets her consequential. So now it's down to 6. Then I'm going to play Phoenix. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and play Phoenix. Okay. And Phoenix has this ability: choose an X-Men ally, ready that ally, and heal 1 damage from it. So ready the ally, doesn't heal, but I'm going to ready Hope Summers, who is it's an X-Men ally. Hope Summers is an X-Men and X-Force ally. And now she's going to attack again for 3, plus 1 more for the mental is 4 damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, down from 6 to 2. And then Phoenix is going to attack, dealing 1 damage, but she has a mental resource on her. So she does 2 more damage, finishing off the game. So hopefully I didn't make any mistakes there, but it looks like I was able to deal all 25 points of damage there in this last round. And could even play this card here if I wanted to. But that's it. So, timeout. Wait, there's a good reason not to want to do that. Hold on. There's a real good reason not to want to do that. We have 2 threat here, 1 minion, and this here. Oh man, I should have focused on them instead. Oh man. Okay. That's a bummer, because now I'm going to have a lot of work to do to get rid of all of that. Okay, so I really blew that. Okay, so let's see. All right, so here's what we're going to do is I'm not going to retract all that, like that's my fault, but I am going to at least remove 2 threat right here and set that one up to get it gone in the next round, hopefully. And then end my turn, discard this card here, ready up, and do this. So I'm taking a bit of a risk, right? So, but I do have 8 hit points, so I'm pretty good. But I don't like it that she gets, all this +2 to her attack and all that. Okay, but at least we have Juggernaut exposed as it is. Okay, all right. So I guess we're continuing to go. Okay, and let's go ahead and take Juggernaut's turn then. Okay, so he gets 2 more threat because we have an acceleration token, and he's going to attack for 4 damage. Nick Fury is going to defend against that, and he's going to deal no extra on that. He's defeated. Okay. All right. This 0 is 2. He has 2 points left. Okay. Let's make sure I don't have anything special in my hand that I need to be aware of. I do not. Okay. Now Chimera is going to attack. So Forced Interrupt, she's going to get +X number of mental resource cards you control. Okay, so we currently have 1, 2, 3 mental resource cards. So she's going to attack for 4. Should I just let her attack? No, I better not let that happen. So let's go ahead and defend with Phoenix. Boy, there's all kinds of dangerous things that could happen here, actually, that could lose us the game. So just a sec. That encounter card that comes out could lose us the game. We got to be careful. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to defend with Psylocke for 2. So Chimera is attacking for 1. Let's calculate it again to make sure. So +X scheme, +X attack, where X is the number of mental resources on cards you control. All right. So we have 1 mental, 2 mental, 3 mental. Okay, so she gets +3. She's attacking for 4. I'm defending for 2, so I take 2 damage down to 6. Okay, let's add the encounter card now and reveal it. Choose to either take damage equal to Juggernaut's ATK. By the way, that was what I was worried about, because his ATK is 4, and if I had let Chimera attack, would have done 4 damage, except I didn't know I had a choice. Because I could have easily if I knew I had the choice, I could have easily just said, I'll just place 1 momentum counter on him, and it would have made life a lot easier for me. But let's put that 1 momentum counter on him. And that's it for his turn. Okay, our turn. Can we win this now? Okay, so first of all, we want to get rid of... Man, I don't think we can. Okay, so first, let's have Phoenix remove 2 threat and get rid of this interdimensional plunder. Okay. And then we will have Hope Summers. Let's see, we have both Sai Katanas out. Okay, so let's see. And we have this training regimen. And what is this? After Psylocke defends, ready Psylocke. Okay. Those are skill cards. Yes, we need to get Nick Fury in, huh? let's see. Yeah, let's get Nick Fury in here. So let's pay 1, 2, 3. We're playing Make the Call. And 4. Okay. To play Nick Fury. And then I got to decide if I'm flipping these over as I pay. Okay. Because we do want to get rid of this. I tell you what, I'm actually going to attack with Hope Summers first, so she attacks for 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay, so then I can turn these over. Both are 1. Turn both over. Okay. All right, and then we're going to get Nick Fury out. Oh, more flexibility if I don't. Yeah, we'll turn both over. Okay. And then we'll get out Nick Fury. Boom. Keep the order, and then draw 3 cards. Okay, so now Nick Fury can make the calls done. Nick Fury can attack for 2 and defeat Chimera. Okay. All right, and then we want to get rid of all of this, right? So we can decrease the cost of this, of Mirage, plus use this Power of the Mind, right? Because Mirage is an X-Men. Okay, so she comes out, and she won't be able to do this because they both have, yeah, she won't be able to use her ability to stun him. Okay, but she can go ahead and remove 2 threat. Okay, and then we can play Psychic Kicker, and we can use that to ready Hope, who now can do 3, right? Because she has this, right? Thwarts. 1 thwart plus 1 thwart, so she has a total of 3 thwart. So she's going to thwart for 2 more. Okay. And then which one are we better off with? The extra damage or defending? And then readying. Yeah, we're going to use Endurance to play this card here. So now we have the ability to defend. And we still have Juggernaut exposed out. Okay, all right. So that looks pretty good. And I think we're going to just stay on this side. All right. Okay, and we have 3 allies plus Hope Summers. She's extra. Okay, all right. So that did start the 6th round, didn't it? Okay. Okay, so hopefully it's just a quick finish here. We don't have to deal with a bunch of stuff again. All right. All right, took a little risk. We could have won, but let's keep going. Okay, so Juggernaut's turn. Let's add 1 more. And he's going to attack for 4, 5. And we'll defend with Nick Fury. And that makes 6, and I am stunned. And that's okay so far. He's defeated. Okay. And, oh, let's make sure I don't have any interrupts. I don't, okay. And then he gets his encounter card. And the villain and each minion engaged with you attack. So he attacks again for 5, but again, he does not have overkill right now. So here's his extra card, and we will defend with Phoenix. And that's just 5 damage to Phoenix, and she's defeated. And now we're set up to just go ahead and win this game. Okay? So let's go ahead and finish it off. So we can get rid of this threat. I will use Hope Summers for, oh, actually, yeah, I will use Hope Summers for that, get rid of this threat. Okay, so it's only, yeah, she gets rid of that easily. And then we'll just play this. So reduce by 1 for this Psionic, and play it with 2 more. We play Flurry of Blades, deal 2 damage to an enemy, and boom, he's defeated. Just in case we needed the extra, each Psi Knife would confuse him, but each Psi Katana, we deal 2 more damage. So we have 2 Psi Katanas out. And we therefore do, you know, an extra, 4 damage for that. We can't play that yet. Let's go to attack with Psylocke and get rid of our stun. Then we can play that and finish him off. All right. And that's it. And we also could have, put this into play so that Mirage could do more too. Okay, in any case, note that there's no more threat on the main scheme. There are no minions or side schemes out, and we did defeat Juggernaut, and so we get our full 10 points for this tournament. Okay, that's it for the game. It went a lot longer than it should have, based on the defeating, and I probably could have set it up better if I had remembered that I wanted to clear everything. But hopefully in future games, I'll remember that earlier. All right, hope you're enjoying the tournament play so far, and we'll catch you in the next one. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and thanks for viewing. Bye, everybody.